He was always the best player on the court in basketball.
He was the most outstanding shooter that I've seen in the game today.
Rich had the best vertical jump by far.
Rich was the type of ball player that could come across half court and shoot a jump shot, nothing but net.
He comes in for a layup, and his shoelaces flashed across my eyes.
He delivered the goods, year in and year out, time after time after time.
It was a joyful thing to see Rich play.
He was playing basketball with older kids when he was very young.
We kind of tested him right away early, and then we went out behind the elementary school and played tackle Red Rover. Yeah, he stood up to us just fine.
I was playing with guys 14 when I was 8 or 9, and when I was 11, I was playing with 18-year-old guys.
It was obvious at that point. He came up as a freshman, he's playing on the varsity. I mean, everybody knew what was going on.
A lot of people think because you're short or small that you've got a disadvantage. If you're good and you're strong, you can do probably more than a big, because they can't, the center of gravity is too high. They can't stay with you.
He played against taller guys his whole career, so I never heard him say anything about being bothered playing with taller guys.
He's a classic example of, yes, he knew he wasn't going to be as tall as a lot of people, but he would be stronger than everyone.
He was years and years and years ahead of his time lifting weights.
He was lifting weights when no one was lifting weights. He was interested in sort of physical culture and developing himself years before other people were.
Right here I lifted weights. I had a bar and cement, and I lifted them and lifted them and lifted them. I gained like 25 pounds from my freshman to sophomore year, and there was no steroids or any of that junk. It was peanut butter and some steak and chocolate milk and just a lot of hard work.
He was 5'7" and weighed about 160 pounds when he was a senior in high school, and he could bench press over 300 pounds, and he was just extremely strong.
Rich was always aggressive about everything he did.
Till 11 or 12 at night, you know, bump, 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 bump. Rich would be out there shooting baskets.
When he was playing in the gym in basketball and taking his shots, he was never happy if the ball rattled and hit the rim a little bit. He wanted it to be all net. He wanted it to be right there.
After practice was over, then he'd say, "Coach, we got to shoot." And so he had a circle of where he likes to shoot his jump shots from, and he had to make 10 in a row from each spot, or we started all over again. And I was late for dinner many, many nights because I was there shooting baskets with him.
I was practicing all the time. I was doing it for fun. It was just fun. And I could never get enough of it.
I didn't put limits on myself. I saw that there were short guys that could jump, but not short as I was. But I don't know, I had a dream that I could go up and do that. And I think you have to have patience though as an athlete. You know, I couldn't do that immediately. I could touch the little loop on the net, and then I could touch the backboard, and then I could touch the brace, and then I could touch the rim. I wanted to be really good. I really wanted to be good.
And when I came out on the floor, I'm sure that people who came to see me thought, that's the guy? He's, 5'7", Of course, when I jumped up and dunked it, it made a little difference.
And little as he was, you'd be surprised how high he got up in the air with the big fellows.
What he's got is probably the fastest first step that I've ever seen.
And it was just incredible how he could just take over a game at will.
What would take your breath away would be the size of him and the ability that he had of jumping and shooting. You wouldn't believe it.